Hi, welcome back to ODE YouTube channel. Today the video I'm going to do is a little bit different, but I think it might be interesting for some of you at least. So, if you usually like the videos that I make, please don't forget to subscribe my YouTube channel. What I'm going to do and why am I doing a different thing is because there is lots of things to talk about when we're talking about pens and their accessories, but also because now we are in this stay-at-home mode because of the coronavirus pandemic, and it gives me ideas to make different videos because today now I'm posting videos daily. At least that's what I'm trying to do until the end of this stay-at-home period. Okay, said that, what I'm going to talk about today is about Parker Quink bottles. And I think to talk about ink bottles is also an interesting thing. You can be a collector and you can have a wide array of bottles. You can be an ink addict, so you have bottles and you really care about them. Or you may be just a cartridge converter user, or you just use one ink only and you don't care about it. But even if you are a cartridge user, you may fill it with syringe, or you may use the converter to suck ink from the bottle. Doesn't matter. What matters is the bottle design may be of some interest, and I'm going to focus some things here. I'm going to talk a little bit about the design and about the function, because sometimes the design is interesting but then the function fails. And so let's start with the Parker Quink. First, we have here several boxes and an empty bottle, which will be important for me to show you. You have seen Quink in my videos before, because this is an ink that I really like. And we have them here from several ages. I don't have any of the most recent bottles in the market because I still have many older ones, so I'm not buying new ink bottles. Maybe someday. But what I wanted to tell you about is the Parker Quink. Parker Quink is a range of inks made by Parker. The Quink range was released in 1931, and Quink stands for quick drying ink. That's what it is supposed to mean. And so Parker Quink was, as I told you, created in 1931, and it had several claims. And now I'm going to show you if I can do it on camera, but I think it might be interesting. Let's find some room for this. I'm going to show you another thing, which is this book. Quite interesting. It is the Parker 51 book, and I will leave a link below on the video description. And I'm just going to open it. I'm hitting the camera. I have no much room for this. Let me just... they have couple of pages talking about Quink inks. This was one page too much. But some of the information about Quink is here on this book for Parker Dufold. They talk here about the claims that Parker used for these inks, and let me see if I can show them to you on camera. So Parker claimed its new product was better than similar inks in eight different ways. It resisted water, it did not clog, it has the correct flowing properties, it was non-molding, it was non-fading, it was quick drying, it was non-corrosive, and it did not leave deposits. Later, Quink was further refined with the addition of Solvex, which no longer is in the modern bottles, which dissolves the sediment and cleans the pen when writing. So that's what I'm talking about. And I'm talking about the regular bottles that you can easily find for regular Parker Quink ink. And I'm talking about the simple Quink that is called just Quink with Solve X, or Super Quink with Solve X, or the modern version which is Quink with no Solve X. These are the only ones that I'm talking about, and the regular sized bottles. There were other kind of bottles. I will talk about them someday when I'm talking about more stuff about collecting. And I'm not going to talk about some different things that Parker made throughout their history, which were the Double Quink, Parker 51 ink, Super Chrome ink, and Penman ink. I'm just talking about Quink and Super Quink. Just that. And so, almost since the beginning, they used this kind of packaging. It changed through the years. That's a kind of a design thing. But the bottles are the same. The labels change through time, obviously, to match the looks on the outside of the boxes. Just the change of the label. But they are almost the same thing. They have the Parker logo there on top, and they have this plastic cap. It's a black plastic cap. Some people say it's backlight, but I don't think so. So it says there Parker. This is the original logo. Here in this is a little bit more modern, and you have the logo to which they changed later, and then they changed the logo back again to one more similar to that one. I don't have any bottle of that kind of design. But these bottles are exactly the same. The logo changes, the labeling change, but the cap is the same. You can unscrew the cap from here and exchange them, no problem. So this is always the same kind of packaging. On the bottom of the cap of the bottle, here it shows Parker engraved, and there Parker again, and then they have some information on the bottom, and let me show you if I can the logo, and then Parker made in England, this one. It has 2 fluid ounces or 57 milliliters, and beneath that it is just a code. Okay, so this means that I'm talking about these 2 ounces bottles. There are bigger bottles and smaller bottles, but that is stuff for some other video. About the design of these, they are made of glass, so they are quite solid. I had once, fortunately it was empty, one of these bottles to fall on the ground, on stone ground, and the bottle did not break, but the cap, yes, it did. But the bottle is very strong. This is a quite thick glass, so it is very resistant. It's not made to be thrown around to the floor, but it will resist well some use. Because it is made of glass and it is somehow heavy, it is not that easy to tip the bottle when you're filling it with ink, which is something that I find quite nice, that you don't see in every bottle design you see around. It has a very low center of gravity, so it will not tip over, which is something very, very important, especially when we are filling pens for which we need to have both hands. Imagine a piston filler. You have to unscrew the knob and screw it again, so sometimes you don't have one hand available to hold the bottle and the other one to do the filling. So I think these are very well designed. Another thing they have is that they have, I will show you, maybe a full box. It is easier to see. That box is very old and it is falling apart. I don't know if it's easier here, but I think it is. There you can see it goes down on both ends. Here it is deeper than there, which means it creates a little well there where the nib of the pen can go to catch the final remains of the ink. But it's not that easy if the hole for sucking ink into the pen is higher. Inkwells that are plain, so you cannot get, you can fill when it is half full and then you cannot fill the pen anymore. Here you can fill it maybe until 1/3 full, but then it will get a little bit difficult. You'll need to tip the bottle to do this, and if you do this you have to be careful, or you can do this, but like this, that big stability we were talking about is a little bit lost. There are some people who make some ink bottles holders, 3D printed, where you can put your inks like that, and they are at an angle, and then you can fill them, use them to fill until they are almost empty. So I would say that the design of this bottle is good in terms of resistance. It will not fall easily because it is very well balanced, but you cannot fill until the bottom, until it is almost empty, because of that little remain. I don't have a problem with that because I mostly fill pens with a syringe, so I can always get to the last drop. But there may be a problem there for some of you. So in terms of design, I think it is a very simple design. It has changed nothing since the beginning almost. So it is very coherent. The design is nice, old-fashioned. Maybe if it was another brand they would make some updates, but Parker did not, and I don't find it wrong. So the design is nice but vintage. The idea of the little inkwell there to be able to put the tip of the pen is good, but it will not solve everything. So interesting that way. But there is another thing that I need to talk about: function, and in that matter this Parker Quink fails terribly. And it's this. Recently one of my viewers asked me how many full bottles of Parker Quink Brown did I still have, because at some point my father gave me lots of these bottles, and my answer was I have some, but talking about full, it's another thing. This is a full Parker Quink Brown bottle, and this is how a full ink bottle looks like after maybe 15 or 20 years. You will see, let me show you, all the color is there in crystals because all the ink has evaporated. I think you can see the bottom of the bottle, and this happens because, let me see if I can open this. Yes, you see there, I don't know if I can focus. It looks like it has mold, but it doesn't. It's just the lighting effects. This is good to go. The seal on the cap is not that good. It has a bit of like waxed paper that goes there and makes a seal, but the seal is not perfect, and they will eventually get completely dry. Some of my older Parker Quink bottles do not, but the ones from this age, and I have some older ones that are like this, all the water is evaporated. It's not that bad because, like these, they are very well preserved. They will not get fungus because they are dry. And what I need to do is, when I need to use this bottle, I will fill it with 57 milliliters of water, and I will shake it, and it will be ready to run to write again. So the problem with these Quink bottles is the seal. And now, just for another little rambling about, I just want to show you that how it would go with this pen. For example, this is a Parker dual-fold blue mosaic. This is a very beautiful pen, and if you want to check, you can get, if it is available, it's not easy to find, this book from one of the authors of the book about Parker 51, and this book has some information about the history of Parker dual-fold. And in the modern Parker dual-folds, this one was made, sorry, I'm hitting the camera with the book. This is the mosaic collection. They have very beautiful colors. There were 3 colors. They were limited for the time. For example, this blue one that I have was made in 2001. And in the following years, there was the red and the black. This one was made only in the international size, which is a shorter end, and the black and the red were made in the international and centennial, which is the bigger size. This is a beautiful pen, and I really like it. And sorry about this little distraction. And I want to show you how that I'm not going to fill the pen. I'm just going to show you, to end this long video about an ink bottle, how it would go. So if you put it here, it reaches the bottom right there, but if you go further, you can have your tip going really down there. So it's a good thing. The problem is these Parker pens do not fill from the tip. They need to get ink up to this level. So as I told you, you need to have at least 1/3 of ink inside. The alternatives you have is to take the ink out with an ink syringe and fill the converter or fill the ink cartridge, or alternatively, you can put the ink contents in a smaller bottle that is easier to fill, or you can put it in those little sample vials. So I don't think you should throw away an ink when the level is low. Just pour it into another bottle or to another vial, or take it with a syringe, but use it. Do not waste ink, because ink is one nice thing, and there are people that are really crazy about inks. About these bottles, they are quite inexpensive. I think they are one of the cheaper inks around. Nowadays they only have washable blue, black and black. They used to have more colors, now they don't, but you still can find some on eBay, some really interesting colors. And also, if you like this kind of bottle, if you have a display and want to put a lot of bottles, there are some online stores that sell ink vials, and they transfer the ink for the ink vials, and they sell the ink vials. And some of them, they sell the empty bottles quite inexpensively, so it is a way, if you want to have them for decoration purposes, you can. So, sorry for a very long video, but I really like Parker Quink, and I was carried over with that. So, this is all I had to show you for today. One of these days I will go through a collection of Parker Quinks, but it is a different kind of video. I hope you liked it. I hope these long videos, if they are not boring, they help you to stay at home if that is what the health authorities of your country say that you should do. So I hope this is my small contribute to let you know more and to entertain you somehow in these stay at home times. And this is all for today. I hope you liked the video and we'll see you again tomorrow. Bye.